Are you confused? I'm confused. We're confused. This next video is going to be very different than the one I just did about Adam Blampier, because that was very complicated. This is very simple. Now, I want to thank... I'm going to say this, and I'm only going to say this once, and I'm probably not going to say it again, ever, but I want to thank BuzzFeed for breaking this story. I want to thank the journalist who did it, Adam B. Very. This is a very well-written article. There is no slant to it. You would never be able to tell the difference in between this article and something from the New York Times. This is really well written. No slant. I swear, you should go read it. It is emotionally complex the way it's laid out. Chronologically told, with a summary in the beginning, and then a more thorough rundown of what happened. Very good. So, the journalist reached out as this was being written, as he was learning of Anthony Rapp's story. And if you don't know, Anthony Rapp is the guy who played Mark in Rent. Probably his biggest role is not the first time I was introduced to him. I was introduced to him from the movie Road Trip, which is hilarious. And he's pretty hilarious in it. But Mark in Rent was my favorite character. The first song that was done was Rent in the movie Rent, and I was blown away as a young guitarist who was fascinated by storytelling, welled up with emotion, shocked that this was even a possibility. So Anthony Rapp is dearly important to me. I was also blown away by Kevin Spacey's work all throughout my life. Anthony Rapp had a central role that played a role in my life, but Kevin Spacey has been quite a fascinating constant up until today with his performance in House of Cards. People are enthralled with him, and they should be, but for a different reason today. When he was reached out to make a comment about this story, he was silent.
I couldn't possibly comment.
But after it was published, he made a pathetic, pandering, gross, weak apology tweet. There's no denying, there's no owning up to it. It's, oh, well, you get drunk, I don't remember, I don't know. If it happened, I'm sorry. But there's an undertone to that. If it didn't, fuck you. It's amazing to think that if you're accused of something, you don't take a hard stance on no if it didn't happen. If you're accused, say, no, fuck you. This is not a, oh, I don't care what people think about me situation. This is a, no, my life's work is on the line. So if you didn't do it, say, fuck you. But if you did do it, I must assume, if you don't say fuck you, that there is some level of guilt. Now, it has been, as mentioned in the article, a very fun thing for Kevin Spacey to poke fun at himself and for people to poke fun at him for how private he is. Kevin Spacey has been private about his sexuality. People have guessed at it, people have poked at him a little bit for it, but he has never come out and said that he's either bisexual or gay. And good. I hate how obsessed people are with that anyways. You're a person. Do you, man? But then, he takes this opportunity to say, now I want to deal with this clearly and honestly. I don't remember doing those terrible things, but I'd like to come out as gay. And I love what Milo Yiannopoulos said about this. People don't like Milo Yiannopoulos. I get that. But this is spot on. You don't get to say that you're gay and be treated with kid gloves. Like it says in the post, this is why identity politics is so poisonous. It chooses to treat different groups with different values and judge them on a different spectrum of severity based on their oppression, based on their identity, based on their nuanced experience in the world. And no, that's not right. Gay people should be scrutinized to the same degree that everybody else is. This is fucked up how people are choosing to respond to it. You should be responding to Kevin Spacey like you do any other person who doesn't deny pedophilic accusations. And I know there's somebody out there going, but it's an ephebophile thing. It's a hebophile thing. And if you don't know, hebophiles are people who are attracted to 10 through 12-year-olds, ephebophiles are people who are attracted to people between like the age of 13 and 17. People say pedophile for a good reason. Pedophile is someone who's attracted to prepubescent people, but it has the worst negative stigma attached to it, and people don't know what hebophiles are, and people don't know what ephebophiles are. Paint the entire thing with pedophile. That's what we do. There's a reason we do that, because pedophile's the worst. Paint the whole thing with it. It's a good, broad term. It's a pedophilic accusation. Deal with it. If someone hurls a pedophilic accusation at you, fucking fight back if you didn't do it. And if you do anything but fight back as though you didn't do it, people are going to treat you like you did it. And for good reason. This is insane. I feel so much for the complex emotions that Anthony Rapp goes through by having to see Kevin Spacey, by having been in the same profession in him, and having brushed shoulders with the same people, gone to the same events, and had these strange, tiny interactions with somebody where all you shared was a glance. And there's so much emotion conveyed in that glance. There's so many questions, like that you're trying to see somebody's soul through their eyes. This article is really well written. It really is. This situation is really fucked up. It really is. And Anthony Rapp has been a huge, huge part of my life when it comes to being fascinated by his one role that was just so well done that I am not only shocked to hear this, but I want to go and watch it. I want to go experience why he was so important to me again. I'm going to watch Rent right after this. And I don't know if I'm ever going to watch House of Cards again. There is a difference in between. This is an important thing. Somebody's art, like Kevin Spacey's art, is different than what he has done. The point of watching somebody in an entertaining situation is to forget about real life in general. It's to have a religious experience, to forget that you're you and let this piece of work think for you. It's what happens when you're watching a stand-up comedian. You're letting them think for you. It's a experience where you turn over your consciousness to a piece of art and don't think about what's happened in the real world. I don't know if that's going to be the case with Kevin Spacey's work. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. I know I can't really do that with Woody Allen, because when I'm watching Woody Allen's work, I definitely can't do that with the director of Way of the Peaceful Warrior and Powder, knowing what he has done. I just can't. The movies have changed thanks to the actions of the directors. They've just changed. I don't know how I'm going to feel next time I go to watch something that is supposed to be masterful, but is actually gut-churning because of what I now know. Kevin Spacey pseudo-owned up to what he did. And people are telling him they are proud of him for coming out, as though something much more important isn't happening. It fucking is. Something different has happened here. And the way to respond to it is not, oh, proud of you for coming out. I'm not proud of anybody for coming out, unless you're in a country where there are huge negative repercussions for coming out. It's 2017. If you come out, it'll be fine. Be proud of them if you want. Kevin Spacey did something different. I don't understand how people get treated differently. Why the kid gloves are involved when it comes to scrutinizing something a gay person has done in any way. But it is the case. I just don't get it. I don't know why. I don't know why people think that gay people can't handle criticism. Criticize Kevin Spacey. This is atrocious. It is nonsensical. I don't get Twitter right now. I didn't get Twitter for Adam Blompier's situation, but these sexual harassment and allegations and bullshit apologies are just... Oh, it's happening so often. So fucking often. And to easily fall on one side or the other based off the nuances of the apology or the specificity of the accusation. It's flipped in this situation. The apology is bullshit in this situation, and the specificity of the accusation is so severe and so emotionally complex and so believable that I can't do anything but sit there and wait for Kevin Spacey to like be like, no, fuck you. But he doesn't. He says, oh, if that happened, I owe you a huge apology. Oh man, if that happened, oh, I surely would have to apologize. He did it. The gloves, fuck kid gloves. The gloves themselves are off.